Welcome back, A Players, to episode 23 of the A Player Adventure Podcast. I'm your host, Suzette West. And today, we're going to explore a subtle but powerful dynamic that affects leadership team alignment. Even when leaders are looking at the same situation and working towards the same priorities, they are not always seeing the same problem the same way. This difference in interpretation can quietly slow progress and create friction across the team. Understanding this dynamic is the first step toward building true alignment. Leadership teams today are operating in an environment of increasing complexity, accelerated decision cycles, and rising pressure to deliver on strategic priorities, especially as AI and other cross-functional initiatives move from concept into reality. This context, alignment is often assumed when leaders review the same dashboards, attend the same meetings, and agree on high-level priorities. However, beneath that surface-level agreement, a more subtle dynamic is often at play, one that quietly shapes whether progress flows or stalls. Even when leadership teams are looking at the same situation, they are not always seeing the same problem the same way. Each leader interprets what is happening through the lens of their function, their responsibilities, and the specific pressures they carry. Finance may focus on cost containment and resource allocation. Operations may see inefficiencies in process flow. Human resources may recognize capacity constraints or workforce strain. Technology leaders may identify limitations in systems or infrastructure. Each perspective is valid, yet each is inherently partial, shaped by localized visibility rather than the full organizational picture. The divergence in interpretation is not a failure of leadership. It is a structural condition of how leadership teams are designed. However, when these differing perspectives are not surfaced and integrated, they begin to correlate with misalignment. Teams may believe they are working toward the same goal, while in practice, they are addressing different versions of the problem in parallel. This creates friction across functions, slows progress, and places an invisible strain on leadership capacity. Over time, the strain compounds, making even well-designed strategies even more difficult to realize. The shift begins with recognizing that alignment does not start with solutions. It begins with a shared understanding of the problem. Leadership coherence plays a critical role here, as it reflects the team's capacity to hold multiple perspectives simultaneously without collapsing into a single viewpoint too quickly. When leaders create space to fully understand how each function interprets the situation, they expand the collective field of awareness. From this broader view, a more accurate and integrated understanding of the problem can emerge, one that the entire team can stand behind. When shared understanding is established, the downstream effects are significant. Decision-making becomes more efficient because leaders no longer have to debate from fragmented positions and positionalities. Cross-functional coordination strengthens when teams are aligned not only on what to do, but also on why it matters. Work begins to move with greater clarity and consistency, reducing rework and unnecessary friction. In this way, leadership coherence serves as the condition that enables true leadership team alignment, allowing organizations to move forward together with focus, clarity, and a unified sense of direction. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the A Player Adventure Podcast. If something stirred your heart or sparked a new insight, I would love to hear from you. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or share the episode with a fellow leader who's ready to build something real. Remember, personal coherence fuels leadership coherence. And that's what makes team coherence possible. Until next time, stay true, stay grounded, and keep leading with heart.